It'll be Warren Johnson versus Bob Glidden in the 7-Eleven Cajun Nationals Pro Stock Finals, as Etta Glidden, Bob's wife, guides him in for the water burnout. And what a role this extraordinary lady has had in his success.
It looks like I'm starting to specialize in sit-down indoor interviews. You have a keen grasp, because the heat and the humidity is getting to this television reporter and maybe even a little bit to this Pro Stock crew chief, Etta Glidden. Boy, it's bad, huh?
Yes, the humidity is, I think, the worst part about it.
You know, going into this final against Warren Johnson, no pun intended, but you're not exactly in the driver's seat.
You're right. We need to find a little bit. We've been running reasonably consistent, and the car is working really well. We're really pleased with the way the car works. We're just not pleased with our ETs.
You'd like another 10th?
I'd like a 10th, but I'd take 500s.
500's in a good light.
Yes, in a good light. Definitely.
Well, this is going to be an interesting one. These guys have raced each other hundreds of times, Steve Evans.
But I would give the edge slightly here to Warren Johnson. That's based only on elapsed time. But when Bob and Etta and sons Billy and Rusty put their mind to it, they may have found that 500 they're looking for. This could be won or lost right on the starting line. The Pro Stocks, when they come up, they bring the RPMs up to about 8,500 and just sidestep the clutch. They are violent off the starting line. Both of them moving up the stage, neither in a particularly big hurry. They'll be in a hurry when that light flashes yellow. It is Bob Glidden off the mark first. Bob Glidden left first, but here comes that Oldsmobile Calais. It is Johnson. Johnson by a fender at 761 to a losing 767.
Good race. All these Pro Stock races are so close, but a 761, 178 miles an hour. What a stout run by Warren Johnson. And as you said, Steve, it usually is decided in the first 20 feet. Bob Glidden may be a little edge off the line, but of course Warren Johnson, that big 500 cubic inch Oldsmobile, just pulled Glidden on the top end, and that carved out a half a car length victory for Warren Johnson.
Cajun Nationals Pro Stock champion Warren Johnson bails out a beautiful 761.
Thank you. That was low ET for eliminations, I believe. I felt like a real good pass. We made some adjustments because the track cooled down, and I think it paid off.
He had you just a couple of hundredths off the mark. Didn't take you long to make it up.
I felt he would, because we've noticed that all week long. We made some changes that the car was a little lazy off the starting line as far as reaction times are concerned, but we didn't have the tire shake phenomenon that we've had at some of the other tracks, and we gave up a little bit there to gain a whole bunch down the racetrack, and it paid off.
That's 2 this year?
2 this year so far.
All right, there may be more in this man's future. Warren Johnson.
What a hard-working professional. Most of his efforts done in the shop, whereas most of the funny car and top fuel work done right here at the racetrack. Warren Johnson will put his car on the trailer, go home a winner. But let's see what's going to happen to Kenny Bernstein. He is in a major thrash to get that car ready.
Well, Brock, you seldom see this crew get behind, but they are right now. There's a lot of work to be done on that Ford Temple. But on the other hand, things are not all that smooth in the Jim Head pit. He looks to be just about as far apart as Kenny Bernstein is, and he doesn't have the same kind of manpower that Bernstein enjoys. So NHRA has decided to break with tradition a bit here and run the top fuel final before funny car. Now, this has happened before quite a few times, but usually because of impending darkness or weather.
So that is the black anodized nose of Big Daddy Don Garlett's top fuel dragster, and he is getting ready to go, fired up and ready against Bill Mullins.
Look at him check those rear view mirrors. He's looking at the header light, seeing if the engine is running clean. The only top fuel dragster I have ever seen with rear view mirrors. Garlett's has been using them for years. They look like they came off about a 49 Ford. You know, Garlett's hate new parts.
But a lot of people may think he would use those to view the competition, but as you say, it's strictly to look at those headers and to see how those that engine is behaving. As we watch Bill Mullins back up after his burnout, it's going to be an interesting confrontation. Not exactly senior citizens here, but two guys with decades of experience. Of course, the big reputation naturally goes to Big Daddy Don Garlett, acknowledged to be one of the great geniuses of this sport. And nobody knows that better than Don Prudhomme.
There's no words really to describe it.
It really is. You know, Don Garlits came into this race really looking bad. You know, he was really troubled in qualifying, and he finally got in the show. But as a Don Garlits follower, I knew he would be in terrific form come race day.
You're a big fan of his.
Yeah, I really am. You know, we go back a long, long time. Connie Coletta, Don Garlits, a lot of us, and I've watched him through the years, and really, when I was running dragsters, I always tried to pattern myself after Garlits, because I thought he was the king of drag racing, and of course still is.
You had a funny line about computers when you first came out of there.
Well, you know, in drag racing these days, and us included, we all fool with computers. Kenny Bernstein carries one on his car, several of the field dragsters and so on, and it seems to be a new age, but Don Garlits can jump up with the computer in his head and run. He's just a self-made computer, really.
Think he'll win it?
Oh, hands down, I think he'll win it. The only thing that would stop him is a failure mechanical, but as far as having his act together, he does have that.
And it's a sight to see him work on an engine, Steve Evans. Not a wasted motion.
Don Garlits has a chance right here to win 2 major NHRA events in a row. He won in Atlanta a few weeks ago. They are off the mark right together. An advantage to neither driver. Here they come across the finish line. Now, the crew is a little bit stunned here because there was no wind light. Now there's a little fire, in fact, a pretty good-sized fire under Mullen's car. Apparently a misaligned photo cell at the finish line. There are no elapsed times recorded and no wind light. But we know who won, don't we, Brock?
We sure do. And it's the old man, Big Daddy Don Garlits. He maybe has a wink in terms of reaction time on Mullins, but for all intents and purposes, an even start. But right there, you see that black dragster in the left part of your screen begin to eke out a little bit of an advantage. It's a close race, but it's Big Daddy by almost a full car length to win here at Baton Rouge.
Some controversy here, as NHRA has not officially yet declared a winner in the Top Fuel final. I have a feeling that this man, Don Garlits, may know more about this situation than anybody else. And apparently, Don, they did not get a wind light. I'm not sure, but that would seem logical.
Well, I was there first, but there was a cone in my lane. In other words, one of the top-end cones was laying in my lane. I had to drive around it.
Probably one of the pro stock cars' parachute sucked it out.
I guess it did. I don't know. But I won the race. He wasn't even there.
Okay, well, let me tell you, that's your 25th NHRA national title.
Thank you very much, Steve.
And it went so ragged in qualifying and so strong in eliminations, as we've talked so many times. You said yourself you're a slow starter and a strong finisher.
Well, sometimes, you know, it's hard to get a handle on these things.
Well, congratulations again. A great race. Don Garlits says he won it. I'll buy it.
We'll buy it too. Big Daddy wins another one. We've got funny car finals coming up here at the 7-Eleven Cajun Nationals.
Only 2 cars remain at the 7-Eleven NHRA Cajun Nationals, the funny car final. Kenny Bernstein, they really had to thrash to get this car together. His competition, well, it was no easy job for Jim Head and his crew either. Now, we've talked before, Brock Yates. You know the drill as well as I do. Head is going to go out there and probably run about a 590. If Bernstein makes a mistake, he's gone.
Well, all the rules have been thrown out, really, Steve, because both these guys had to thrash so hard to get ready. So all the kind of reputations for consistency, I suppose, are a little bit suspect at this point.
I have to agree completely, Brock. This is the 3rd final round that Kenny Bernstein has appeared in this year. He's won the previous 2. Let's see if he can do it again. You saw his crew in the background there. You talk about their fingers crossed. They don't have the confidence that they usually do. Off the mark together. Bernstein has problems. Bernstein has shut it down. Jim Head wins his 2nd ever NHRA national event. The Cajun Nationals is his at a typical Jim Head 5.93.
Same ET as his run in the semifinals, so consistency pays off. It was Kenny Bernstein that unfortunately made the mistake against the machine like Jim Head. Let's take one more look at it. It was really over before it started. It looks like Kenny's running on 4 right from the beginning. Jim Head just drives away. It was over really before it started. A big win for Jim Head.
Jim Head, you missed by a fraction last year. Not this year.
Yeah, what a run. You never did.
Who cares?
No,
Who cares?
Right. It was kind of hurt, so I'm just glad to be here.
Did you see Bernstein at all?
A little bit on the starting line, and then what happened to him? He smoked tires?
I don't know, just gave up?
It was hurt, I think. His was. Mine was hurt, too, so I'm just happy to be down here.
Guys like Kenny Bernstein out of here racing for those valuable points and all of that. But a win like this can keep a guy like you racing financially.
Well, it definitely helps. There's no question about it. And along with the valuable points and all that good stuff. We finished 6th last year. I'd sure like to move up to a few notches.
I have a feeling you'll do that. Jim Head wins the 7-Eleven Cajun Nationals.
Great day of racing. A lot of upsets, not so much in Top Fuel where the old man wins it. Don Garlett's Jim Head in Funny Car, Warren Johnson in Pro Stock. Our congratulations to all three of these men for winning here at the 7-Eleven Cajun Nationals. For Ed Bruce and Steve Evans, I'm Brock Yates.
The executive producer for American Sports Cavalcade is Harvey M. Pallage. Produced and directed by John B. Mullen. Promotional consideration provided for and a fee paid by the Style Auto World Championship Team, the nation's premier source of fast lane fashion. Style Auto, the champion's choice for the style of your life. The American Sports Cavalcade is a presentation of Diamond P Sports.